Plants and trees are the beauty of nature. The way they breathe and incorporate into our breathing system is commendable. Like any other law of nature, we are coexisting with Mother Nature in order to take advantage of it and serve it likewise. Trees have been known to feed, house, and otherwise nurture countless creatures over time. Around 3 million trees currently exist, supporting habitats for old-growth forests to city streets. The humankind is literally spread over the planet Earth, thinking it belonged to them alone. Being omnipotent had them at the disposal to rule over all other creatures. Men have restricted animals to cages or forests. The same is the case with nature. Either it is restricted to forests or allowed to breathe with us as much as it is needed. Unwanted trees are cut down for clearing land or making paper, etc. Their life, in a way, is governed by mankind. But did it ever occur to you what would happen if plants and trees would start walking? Yes, I know you are wondering, why did it never cross your mind before? Hello, and welcome to another mind-blowing episode of Random Thoughts. Before moving further, let me remind you of subscribing to our channel and press the bell icon so you will get notifications for our next videos. Let's think. How would you feel having trees walking around you and plants moving along with you? You must be wondering that it would be a drastic sight to have trees crowding the streets and roads, causing many destructions on the way. Why would you even think of risking so much with this thought? But let me assure you of the ride through this random thought would be worth it. Let us ponder. We are already familiar with the thought of having animals out on the streets. You know what risks we would have to face when wild animals may creep onto roads and put our lives in danger. We would be confined to our homes in order to save our lives and becoming food for creatures we've been eating for decades. The same thought is dreadful when we may have trees walking in front of us, be it crossing a road or entering a street. There, however, exists the danger as how trees and plants would maybe move. For simplification, two answers to query are sought. One way trees and plants may move would be moving haphazardly, crushing anything in sight or disrupting the city lives, not realizing what danger they are putting mankind into. Although it wouldn't be cruel if nature could treat us the same way we've been treating it. The climate change because of polluting the environment and suffocating Mother Nature has us at the risk of being mistreated by nature in return. What if nature is done with us being selfish? It sure would be walking to take revenge. But second way trees and plants may move could be moving intelligently. Trees and plants may have a life and senses equal to ours. They may communicate, and if not, may only understand terms to coexist with humans. Here are some interesting deals if trees and plants would start walking. Trees would move and make colonies. Just like humankind finds their survival and lifestyle most easy at places that suit them, likewise trees would be intelligent enough to move to better opportunities. Once you see them traveling to faraway lands, you must know they hate you suffocating them. The forests would be filled again. The colonies would be made at most clear and pollution-free spaces. However, trees need carbon dioxide to breathe, hence they'd be forced to have better terms with other living creatures. We are wondering what it would be like in cities when we would be deprived of all the green. The horror of the situation is enough to make humans think this through. In a situation like this, we'd expect trees and plants to cooperate with us in order to coexist and not let cities die. It seems tough to have trees understand humans. Could help prevent climate change. We are all aware the horror of global warming is causing to the climate of the Earth. The climate change affecting countries for decades may be saved by the help of walking trees. It would not be selfish to have trees make the survival of coming generations healthy. Trees and plants realize the cooperation they would have to show in order to let on a better life at populated Earth. There needs to be an impressive communication between humans and walking trees in order to let them populate in areas where a change in the weather is needed. For instance, trees from forests would be invited to reside at a city location with all the suitable services provided for their survival. The trees can be promised pollution-free space to breathe in. This is the point where humans realize the worth of trees who are free to live anywhere but choose to help humans live better. People would prefer to pet trees or cage them. Since walking trees and plants are not bound to listen to anyone, they may reside anywhere. For the respiratory process and better atmosphere, people would be forced to have trees tied at their residences. Trees and plants would be pets at homes to be loved with care. The relationship may be selfish, but humans would struggle into keeping trees and plants close to them. The gardens would give away the impression of prison, where trees may be tied forcefully. Here again, mankind has portrayed themselves as hunters. The situation would surely be of war when it is upon the survival of humans. Another main reason to slave trees would be to make paper or building houses. It is a whole nother struggle when you simply cannot put an axe on a tree, however light. Let trees walk. Whenever it comes to animal hunting, societies in favor of saving wildlife rise. The same would be in the scenario when trees would start to walk. The brutal caging and hunting of trees passing by would be condemned by people driving the slogan, "Let trees walk." It is simply a matter of understanding that trees have an equal chance of walking around or moving just like mankind. There may arise circumstances when roads are needed to be wider for trees to walk. Proper pathways for trees and plants to move and walk would be demanded to be made by the government. When it is about the survival of both, it has to be equal grounds. Trees would be allowed equal survival rights. Many organizations would agree to the fact, but the atrocities of human selfishness may reign in those times as well. Many measures would be demanded by those organizations speaking for walking trees and plants. Hence, the random thought suggests a world otherwise in the presence of walking trees. Well, think for a minute how your life would be different in the presence of walking trees. Politics would lose its essence when it comes to survival. Negotiations with trees would become the focus. So this is a random thought that we thought. Tell us in the comments about other consequences of this random thought.